Early autumn settles gently over the Kathmandu Valley, and market stalls fill almost overnight with long ropes of golden marigold. Vendors string the flowers into long garlands, draping them over door frames, shop fronts, and parked motorbikes. Word spreads through the valley the same unmistakable way every single year. The 15-day festival called Dashain is finally beginning. Families start packing small bags days in advance, debating cheerfully about which relative's house they will reach first this year. Bus stations fill quickly with travelers balancing baskets and children, while drivers stack luggage higher than the roofline itself. Tailors and clothing shops stay open unusually late this week, since new clothes for the festival are considered genuinely essential. Inside one quiet home, a small room is swept clean and set aside, untouched for the rest of the year. A shallow clay tray is carried into that dark room and filled carefully with fine river sand. A handful of barley seeds is pressed into the sand by hand, spaced evenly, covered lightly. A small oil lamp is lit beside the tray and left burning, meant to stay alight without pause.
The room's door is drawn shut, leaving the seeds and the small flame alone in the dark.
For the next 9 full days, almost nothing at all will seem to happen inside that small room. On the 10th morning, the door finally opens, and everything the festival has been building toward begins. An elder settles slowly onto a low wooden stool, a brass plate balanced carefully across her knees. On the plate sits a small mound of rice, a spoon of yogurt, and a smear of deep red powder. Beside it lie thin, pale yellow shoots, grown from the very barley seeds sown 9 days earlier. A grandchild kneels on the floor in front of her, head bowed slightly forward. A few of those pale shoots are tucked gently behind the child's ear or into their hair. A quiet blessing is spoken aloud, one word at a time, wishing long life, strength, and good fortune for the year ahead. A few folded bills are then pressed gently into the child's cupped palms before they rise and step aside. The next cousin kneels immediately after, and the same brief ceremony happens all over again. A line forms out the door, young relatives waiting their turn in pajamas and half-brushed hair. Some children compare the size of the red mark left behind, proud of how much paste they received. The mixture itself could not be simpler. Rice, yogurt, red powder, and grass grown from seed. Yet in that one small gesture sits the entire meaning of the 15-day festival now in full swing. Because the blessing being given this morning did not start today at all. It started 9 days earlier in the dark with a seed nobody was watching. Dashain unfolds across 15 days, stretching from a new moon to a full moon in the month of Ashoy. Its roots trace back to an old story of a long struggle between light and an ancient darkness. 10 days mark that struggle, and the 10th day, Vijaya Dashami, is named for its triumph. The first day of the festival is called Gatastapana, meaning roughly the placing of the vessel. Alongside the seed tray sits a small clay or brass pot set down at the very start of the 15 days. Barley is chosen deliberately for the seeds, prized for how quickly and reliably it sprouts indoors. The room stays shuttered for all 9 nights, so no direct sunlight ever reaches the growing shoots. That darkness is the point. Prosperity that grows quietly, without needing to be shown off. By the 9th day, the shoots have grown pale and thin from the lack of light, almost yellow. Trimming those shoots is its own small ceremony, done carefully just before the 10th day blessing begins. The shoots themselves are called Jamara, and they stand for fertility, renewal, and a fresh season ahead. Beyond the home, the 10th day becomes a kind of open circuit, house to house, blessing to blessing. In a single day, one person might kneel before a dozen or more elders across a neighborhood. Custom holds that the oldest generation in a family compound is visited first out of quiet respect. Neighbors, old teachers, and even distant relatives are folded back in, Tika crossing whatever distance had grown between them. Streets fill with people in new clothes, red marks already drying on their foreheads, walking door to door. The scale of the movement is genuinely enormous. Well over 1 million people leave the Kathmandu Valley alone in just a matter of days. Estimates suggest several million more shift nationwide during these same 15 days, from busy cities back to the villages where their families first began. Buses queue for hours at valley exits, roofs stacked with baggage, engines idling in slow, patient lines. On that very first day, outside the house with the seed room, another structure quietly goes up. Neighbors gather to cut fresh green bamboo poles, each one 6 to 10 meters tall. The poles are lashed together at the top with rope, rising into a tall, narrow frame. A single seat is hung from the very peak, swinging high above the courtyard below. Custom holds that everyone should leave the ground on this swing at least once during the 15 days. Neighbors take turns pushing each other higher, laughter carrying easily across rooftops and open yards. The swing stays standing through the whole season, only taken down once a sister holiday concludes weeks later. Above all of this, hundreds of paper kites begin lifting into the pale October sky. Kite string is often coated in a fine paste of glue and crushed glass, sharpened for friendly duels. Whole streets erupt in cheering whenever one kite string is cut and it drifts loose overhead. An older belief ties the kites to Indra, the rain god, asking him to hold back further rain. The message, so the story goes, is simple. The crops already have enough water this season. A gentler belief travels alongside it that a rising kite also carries quiet news to relatives long past, letting them know the family below is doing well.
Back at the 10th day blessing, the tikka mixture is mixed to a precise, familiar consistency each year.
Elders bless the younger family first, then travel onward themselves to receive tikka from anyone older still living. It is said that on this single day, almost no one in the country goes without at least one blessing. Yet this 15-day season, so rooted in one small dark room, has had to find new ways to reach a modern, scattered world. Millions of Nepalis now live and work far from home, scattered across the Gulf, India, Europe, and beyond. For them, the 10th morning of Dashain can fall on an ordinary weekday with no chance of a flight home. A solution has settled into place instead, a phone propped up on a table back in Nepal. An elder leans toward the camera, plate in hand, while a grandchild leans toward their own screen abroad. The blessing is spoken across a video call, red paste applied on one side, palms cupped open on the other. Money once passed carefully hand to hand is now often sent within minutes through a simple mobile transfer instead. Community halls in cities abroad open their doors wide for shared Dashain gatherings, with tikka stations carefully set up for everyone. Local Nepali associations from distant capitals host communal blessing lines, standing in for family who could not travel. Back in the capital itself, kite flying has grown noticeably harder than it once was. Tall apartment towers and tangled overhead wires now crowd the open sky where kites used to rise freely. Some neighborhoods report fewer kite sellers setting up each year, the tradition thinning in the busiest wards. Outside the city, in open valley towns and terraced hillsides, the sky still fills with color every October. The swing tradition has shifted too, now sometimes built in a public park or a school courtyard instead of a private yard. Shops still report brisk sales of new clothing, families treating festival outfits as simply non-negotiable. A newer custom has taken hold online. Photographs of freshly marked foreheads shared across group chats and feeds. Whatever shape it takes, the same plate of rice, yogurt, and red powder still finds its way to someone. Step back for a moment to the small, dark room where all of this quietly began. 9 days earlier, a single barley seed had no way of knowing where it would eventually end up. It simply grew because someone chose to water it daily, asking for nothing in return. That patient, unseen care is really the whole meaning tucked inside every sprig of Jamara. The blessing pressed onto a forehead was never truly about the paste itself. It was about someone deciding, 9 days in advance, to quietly grow something for someone else. As evening settles, kites drift low over rooftops, their color fading gently against the darkening sky. A bamboo swing sways slowly nearby, empty now, ropes still warm from an afternoon of laughter. Somewhere else entirely, a phone screen still glows softly, one more family finishing their blessing across an ocean. What people carry away from a morning like this is rarely just money, or grass, or red paste. Real care so often looks exactly like this. Quiet patience, practiced steadily, long before anyone else can see the result. The oldest blessing in any Nepali home was planted 9 days before it was ever actually given. Perhaps every good thing a person ever receives once began quietly with someone else tending to it first, unseen. Dusk settles slowly and fully over the valley now. Marigold garlands still bright along the quiet lanes below. The fox pauses at the edge of a courtyard, one last kite catching the last warm light overhead. The fox smiles warmly, standing beside a full basket of fresh jamara and a small plate of tikka, soft golden light all around.